All right, good morning. I did something a little bit unorthodox in the polyphasic sleep experiment, let's say. Maybe you remember in the video I made last night, I just casually mentioned, like, yeah, I think it's possible that if I just slept through a whole night right now, to just straight up go back and still have my REM naps and go forward that way. And I also said, like, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to do that. And I'm just here to do what I want to do and experiment that way and just report back. But honestly, I hadn't really considered that. So that just came out during the video. And later that night, I was thinking about it and I was actually considering for the first time. And just like, I don't know, in my heart, I felt like this was right for me at the time. And that could be just me being tired. But and note that, in the heart might sound a little bit of woo-woo, but listen up, there's a lot of science right now about intuition, about how your neurology connects to your body. And how to sort of interpret that as intuition. So yes, it is woo-woo in a sense because it's always been a little bit flu, but there is actually some solid science coming out with the neurology of things. So it's actually very, very cool. And I'll probably be talking about that. There's this intelligence in your body that you can listen to. And so I was tapping into that. There's a lot of techniques, a lot of tricks you can use to tap into what we best know as intuition, of course. That's why people say, what do you feel in your heart? What do you feel in your gut? There's a reason for that. And science is only just now catching up. So that's actually really cool. And to be honest, that's a big part of finding that life that you want and taking those chances that you might otherwise not take because you feel it's right. It's a lot different than being in your head and thinking like, what's the next step? What do I have to do? Da, 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 da. Anyway, I digress. So I felt in my heart that this was actually the right thing to do for me, even though I had not really considered that at first. So I took myself some sleep supplements, some melatonin, some phenibut to increase my GABA production or decomposer. I don't know exactly what all the supplements do by heart. I researched them before I took them, but or before I bought them. So I took my sleep supplements and I slept. But man, did I sleep! I really slept. So I woke up maybe at, was it 8 or something, and I just stayed in bed. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to sleep through. So I slept till about 10:30, which is great because 10:20 would be when I wake up from my nap, right? So it's not that much different. So obviously, I still have every intention to continue sleeping on the Uberman schedule now. So I slept, I was in bed for about 12 hours. And there's actually anecdotal evidence that a lot of polyphasic sleep, that many of the few people that did polyphasic sleeping actually had this sort of recovery, large chunk of sleep. Because there's still deep sleep and all that the body needs. For me personally, it was mostly because of the eyes. My eyes really needed some rest, and that worked. My eyes feel a lot better. And I was I was getting tired of sleep deprivation. And yes, that pun was intended. So how do I move forward now? My plan right now is to stick to my schedule again. Every 4 hours, I'm going to nap. I'm not going to wiggle it too much around like I did before. I'm actually even going to try and see how things go at night. If I do need a nighttime nap in the halfway point, I'm not going to shy away from that. But those are pretty much the only ones, right? So I'm hoping that my REM sleep during naps is still where it was. So that's like the big danger right now. But I don't think I'm in that zone where it's a problem anymore. So I was getting REM sleep very consistently. I was getting more and more dreams, actually. So it was getting better and deeper, or I was getting better at recall. But needless to say, I was getting REM sleep in my short little naps. And that should be the key to polyphasic sleeping this way. So yeah, I don't know if this worked or if it's going to work or if I have to go through another adaptation period. And then hopefully it'll be a lot easier. So yeah, bear with me on this journey. I'll be reporting back to you probably tonight to see how the daytime naps go, and then next morning to see how the nighttime naps, because those are really, really the problem area for me. See how the nighttime naps go. I hope my light bulb will arrive today so that I can use that at night to actually just get me through with a little bit of more light than just candles, right? Because I think that in and of itself also may be a bit tired because there's no light whatsoever. So anyway, this is where I'm at right now. I hope this worked. I really do, because I do still want to be on a polyphasic sleep. So I do want to be on the Uberman. It felt really great, but I was constantly tired, and needless to say, I was kind of sick of that. I wanted that to stop, and I know this might sound like cheating, but it's really based on my current understanding of like the principles at work. Like I said in that video yesterday, I really think that given my understanding of things and how I'm getting REM sleep during naps, I should now be able to bounce back to a monophasic night and then bounce right back to the Uberman schedule. This is the first of many flexibility experiments that I'll be doing. I will be shifting over to an everyman schedule for a while and stretching those naps out after getting some nighttime sleep, like maybe 3 or 4.5 hours. I don't know if that will work. I don't know if that'll take a couple of days to kick in. But the basic idea is that, let's say I'm on an Uberman schedule, and in about a week I have this, let's say, a workshop. I have this whole day workshop. Maybe I'm giving it, maybe I'm getting it. And I know there's a break somewhere. There's like an hour break, but that's 6 hours in, right? So in those cases, obviously, Uberman, if it's stretchable to that point, awesome, but I might actually want to take some precautions, right? Because I really want to be present at the workshop. So that's why I'm going to be doing these flexibility exercises. Also, I've got university, school. I've got a freaking internship coming up next year. I'd love to be able to, over the course of this year, test out everything that I can do with the Uberman or the polyphasic sleep schedule to really make it my own and to make it as flexible as can be. Even though the whole principle of the schedule is inflexibility, right? So I'm trying to stretch that out. As you know, I kind of like to play with the rules to see how much of a real rule they are, or do we just believe that's the rule, and that's why we keep doing it. So, yeah, bear with me. I hope this works, and I'll see you probably tonight. Might be a blog, though. So, yeah, peace.